Welcome back.
Ew. Oh, cringy. You know the drill. Sit down, cozy up, grab your favorite comfort drink.
Because you're now listening to the Sip and Pretty podcast. We told you guys we would have boba.
And here we are.
Here we are. Literally like aesthetic wear. Bye. I'm telling you, if you have trypophobia, don't look.
We were definitely going for the comfort drink vibes this time.
Yeah, I tried to, how do you call it, branch out last time with our drink, and I got a freaking banana drink, like a banana latte, and I did not like it. But again, it was all for the purpose of fitting an aesthetic.
I cringed at banana because I am not a banana girly, so.
Yeah. We really hope you guys enjoyed our last podcast
the
episode.
feedback was so good. Yeah, like we said in the beginning, I feel like it's just so much more motivating to know that like everybody is enjoying what we're like putting out there, and the feedback is really good, and yeah, it just couldn't have gone better for our first episode.
Yeah, I think it was also really encouraging reading you guys' comments and just like validating. Well, for one, Desi had a comment where someone said if I were like as a Libra, I would have gone about it the same way. Other just you guys letting us know like you're listening, and even just asking questions in regards to like the situation was like, oh, like thank you for listening, and like really like pointing things out, and like you're letting us know that you're actually watching the whole video.
Oh yeah,
you know, you're not just like here to like see what's going on. Oh, click out. We saw our Spotify what do you call them?
like analytics,
and those were encouraging as well, that people are listening without even like knowing who we are, or even like just seeing a video of us. We struggled, you guys. I will say it was a learning curve, but it's gonna flow so much more.
I was just about to touch on that. I was like, learning experience, because our YouTube didn't end up being up until like 8 p.m, which we had hoped it'd be up in the morning, but you live and you learn. And yeah, we'll make adjustments as we go.
This episode should be up along with the Spotify episode, because again, learning curve, we figured it out, and we're able to actually have both of them out at the same time instead of crap, it's not uploading.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we learned our lesson. So yeah, we'll make adjustments as needed, and
thank you for being
go from
patient
there. But yeah, it was honestly really good for our first one. We had a lot of positive feedback, so I'm excited to.
And it's good because that was one we were really nervous about.
Oh yeah,
very scared, very nervous.
I feel like at the beginning too, it didn't like, it was kind of not choppy, but like there was a lot of like blank space. But that's just because, like we said, it's gonna take a little bit of getting used to, and once we like got really into like the nitty gritty, I think it flowed so much more better, because it's just like you said, or like I said, it's like our back and forth conversations.
Yeah,
you know, like. Yeah, so we have our boba today, and we have some questions of your guys's to answer.
Also, thank you to everyone who sent over a question, because we were kind of worried about that.
We weren't gonna have enough.
We were like, okay, we need to figure out a topic in case they don't even like send any, and we got so many from you guys.
I think we ended up with like 18 total.
Yeah. So thank you guys for, I mean, even trusting us with giving you advice on your situations. But we'll do our best to answer with grace and just a way that you can go about it, you know, in an honest, graceful, peaceful way.
Yeah.
Since we've learned from our mistakes.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and start. We're just going to kind of bounce back and forth. Yeah, let's get into this, because we're thinking at least a few minutes with each question, just to make sure we actually get to answer them fully and not kind of halfway through and give you a half-assed answer. Okay, you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, sure. So this one says, me and my husband currently have an ongoing argument with my mother-in-law. Any advice? What do you think?
I think we'll start off with, it depends what the argument is. Is it disrespectful towards you? Is it disrespectful to your relationship? Is it just something petty that you can look over and ignore and let your mother-in-law kind of sounds like a you problem, or I feel like we needed a little bit more context, kind of, because
the specifics.
What part is your partner playing in this as well? You know, type of thing. Is it an issue with him? I don't know. And what would you say?
I was gonna be like really general with it, and just like you and I have talked about before. When it comes to relationships, you have to remember that it is you and your husband versus the problem, not the problem getting in the middle of you guys and you guys being like at each other. And you touched on this too with like our specific situation when it came down to like your relationship with Alex. You were kind of having to like not set that boundary, but just like make it clear to him that he should, like, as your partner, he should be siding like with you. Not that there should be like sides chosen necessarily, but I do think that
in a union, like, that's what's expected.
Like, it shouldn't be like you are a part of like your husband when you guys decide to, you know, make those vows to each other. And that union, like, it should be seen that you two are the couple. You two are, you know, like, it's not. I don't know.
So
does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes complete sense, because so if your mother-in-law is having an issue with you and your partner, obviously, like, that's his mom, you know, it's and it's one of the things that I've always told Alex, like, I'll never ask you to stop talking to your mom in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
But I do believe that because you are in a union, your partner should definitely still be drawing or letting his family know, this is my partner, and no matter what, I'm standing by her side, while also holding you accountable if you are in the wrong.
Right.
But not completely giving his family the validation of, yes, you're right, and my partner's wrong.
Yeah.
Because when Desi and I were having our issues, one of the things I remember Billy, my brother-in-law, telling Alex was, tell Carolina to quit doing this. I've already told Desi. And Alex like would go back and forth with them, and Billy would say, yeah, well, I told her she's in the wrong too. So even though Billy was siding with her, he was still letting us know, like, I'm holding her accountable. Now you need to hold Carolina accountable as well. So it's like, there's healthy ways to go about it, and there's unhealthy ways to go about it as well. And if that's one of the things that you're having like an issue with your partner, tell him, like, bring it up to him and straight up tell him, if you think I'm in the wrong, that's fine, but you still have to show me support as my partner. Right.
That's a good point, because I remember in our conversations too, that there was a comment that you made about how like our partners shouldn't have to like check us or something like that. Like, I think it was in regards to when Billy said like, come get your girl or whatever. And you were like, the guys shouldn't have to like put us in check. That's what you said. And Billy and I had our own conversations about it. And I just remember telling him, like, it's not about putting in check. It's about having that mutual respect for each other, where I can tell you when you're doing too much and you can tell me when I'm doing too much. So it's just like that in that situation where it's like, okay, obviously, like, let it be known that you and your partner are a team. Like, the family isn't going to come between that. But also, you know, in private, maybe having those conversations with your husband or your wife or whatever, and letting them know, like, okay, but there is something that you can do to also like
make this easier. Another thing is, when we had our conversation about the wedding, I remember I brought that up and I said, I think we're both grown enough to talk about this and like hash this out together. We don't need our partners telling us what to do. So same with you. If this is an issue between you and your mother-in-law, you can go about it the mature way, have a conversation with her. And if she wants to go about it the petty way or the mature way, that's on her. But at least you know that you tried to do something not beneficial, something productive for the sake of just the relationship with your in-laws and with your partner.
Yeah, I think that also just like depends like on the situation. We would need a little bit more details too, because
if it's something non-negotiable, then I think you need to be strong on your boundaries. Again, is it the kids? Is it you? Is it coming at you for your character?
But if it's something petty, like little drama that you couldn't see affecting your relationship long term, then, and it's worth rekindling, then I would say, yeah, definitely go the route of like trying to address it directly with her.
Yeah.
And see where it goes from there.
Take our advice with a grain of salt.
Yeah. We are not responsible for the outcome of whatever you decide to do.
Okay. Next question. How to talk to your partner about marriage without rushing, quote unquote, for the proposal?
I love this question.
I think it's great because I think you and Billy went about it a very like paced way.
Definitely.
Whereas me and Alex went very quick.
But I think it just depends on the relationship too.
Yeah.
And I made a TikTok about this, actually. I'm all, not my Roman Empire.
I'm experienced in this question.
Yeah. So I made a TikTok about this a while ago, actually. I think it was like right when Billy and I got engaged. And it's because there was that trend going on, or I don't even know if it was a trend, maybe it was just my FYP. But it was somebody talking about how like if you guys have been together longer than like 2 years and he hasn't put a ring on it, that like he doesn't actually love you, or he doesn't see like being in a relationship with you long term. And I was like, that's not realistic. Like for some of us, it's just because we acknowledge that we are not ready for marriage. Like you can be in a relationship long term. My fiance and I, well, my husband and I, we were together for 7 years before getting engaged. And then we were engaged for 2 years and then got married. But I mean, we had kids beforehand and everything. And yeah, I mean, like, I think part of it was just, first of all, like acknowledging where we are in our relationship and what was going to work for our specific relationship. Because like you said, maybe it seems a little bit fast paced for you and Alex, but it's whatever like flows naturally for your guys' relationship. And for us, I think what played a big factor is the fact that we were high school sweethearts. And so I would always tell him, like, we had to grow up together.
Yeah.
Like, we went from, you know, being teenagers to being parents to getting into adulthood and like him starting his career and, you know, like all these different stepping stones that are usually already like established by the time you get into a relationship with somebody where you're thinking about marrying them. And so, I mean,
can I say something?
Yeah.
I think that's a really good point you make, because when you hear of couples being together for 8+ years and not engaged yet, you forget that most of those years have been their
like adolescence years,
their high school years, and their stepping into adulthood years, their first real job, college years. So it's easy to assume, oh, that long, like he doesn't love you. But no, but it's also like we were growing up.
Yeah. And we just recognized that we weren't ready for that. We had our own struggles that I'm sure we'll end up talking about in a different episode. But we definitely went through our fair share of struggles, and we knew that we wanted like the ultimate outcome to be getting married to each other. Like we knew we loved each other that deeply, and that's what we wanted. But it was just working towards that, because we also accepted that where we were in our relationship before, any earlier than we did get engaged, we weren't ready for it at that point. Yeah. And I mean, we did the couples therapy thing, and like every little move that we needed to make in order to, like I said, get to our end goal of being married. We just had to make sure we took those steps first, because then that's the thing too, is like not just wanting to get married, but you want a long-term marriage. You don't want a marriage that ends in divorce, you know? So I think that's also really important as far as like not pushing or rushing into it, and taking your time with it, is you want it to be a long-lasting relationship too, or marriage. So that was all things that we had to take into consideration. So obviously we're still kind of new to this marriage thing, but I guess it's not too different compared to what we have been doing for the past 9 years now. So.
It's life. You never stop learning in life. Yeah. Life always hits you with lessons, and the thing is choosing who you want to go through those lessons with.
Oh, yeah.
Rushing, I wouldn't say is really the word to use, just because, again, everyone's relationship is different. Everyone's learning experiences are different. 2 months into my relationship with Alex, we were already trying for babies. Point is, what to you may feel like rushing, it's not the same for someone else.
Yeah.
So you have to look at your relationship and think, are we in a good spot where, because there is nothing wrong with bringing up the idea of an engagement, of taking that next step. Because an engagement is something serious. It's not just something you do for the ring. It's like, I am promising that I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Right. I am saying yes to this commitment,
this next level.
So bringing it up is not a bad idea. Talking about it, if you have children, hey, you know, I was just thinking, like, what do you think about us getting married? Because again, you have to look, it's a full-on legal thing.
No one says just because you get engaged you have to get married at the end of it. Like, there's engagements that fall through for whatever reason all the time. And so it's just, if that's what you, maybe just start with the engagement. Don't think straight to rushing into marriage, but thinking, okay, we've been together for this amount of time. We are working through our issues. We want this. So let's just make the commitment now, the baby step, if you will, to getting engaged, and then sit and be engaged for as long as you need to before jumping into the whole marriage.
And we'll talk about this in a different episode, but for example, I knew Alex was going to propose to me the second time, and I designed my own ring. And a lot of women do that, where you design your ring as well, where they start talking about engagement with their partners. Because I guarantee you, any man that's going to propose to their partner, or most of them think, I'm going to surprise her, right? But with women who are aware of like the different kind of diamonds and rings and everything, they might be the ones to bring it up and say, hey, when you propose to me, that might even be a good way to bring it up, you know, kind of like subtle. Hey, when you propose to me, I want to tell you what kind of ring I want, right? So maybe think
ring
about
shopping is the first step.
Yeah, and it's fun, girl. But yeah, bring it up to him kind of like that, and then see where that leads. See what kind of vibes he's giving you. If he's shocked, if he's kind of like not interested in talking about it, just follow his lead. And depending on that, if he seems like interested, then that's a good sign. If he kind of like pulls away, maybe you can ask him, hey, like, I kind of noticed,
what are your reservations?
Like,
and then that's something that you guys can focus on working on, because if it is something that you are wanting but maybe he's not ready yet, or vice versa, it is important to still let your partner know, like, well, this is where I stand, and like, I see this. And then I mean, from there you can kind of decide what changes need to be made for both of you to end up getting on the same page. Let's go with, where did you grow up and did that affect who you became?
Oh, girl.
Mine is pretty simple because I'm sitting where I came from. What I mean by I am... What did I say?
I'm sitting
where I'm from. So born and raised here in Greeley, Colorado. Good old Greeley. How did it affect? I don't think that where I'm from affected anything necessarily. If anything, it made me want to leave. When I became an adult, I was like, yeah, I need to get out of Greeley.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So when we moved to Colorado, I was in 4th grade. And I lived in Breckenridge. If you don't know where that is, that's in the mountains. It's 2 hours away from here.
It's like a ski town.
Yeah, it's like a very touristic place. But it's also a very, how do I say this without sounding so bad? It's very...
High class.
And over there, I had this perception that I had to wear Under Armour, Nike, sports clothes, all of the above. Leggings that were $40+, shirts that were $40+, tennis shoes that were $60+. And my mom couldn't afford that at the time. So I always felt less than, and the kids up there made you feel that way. Like they looked at you weird, right? So I feel that. Whereas like you grew up here in Greeley, it's a more diverse city. Like there is everything. When I moved down here, I remember it was like a breath of fresh air. I went to school.
A breath of fresh freaking cow caca air. Jeez.
It's all ranch.
Everybody says that Greeley has a smell, and
it smells like cow shit.
But Caro loved it. She was like... so refreshing.
Please. Oh, she went from smelling the fresh smell of trees to
JBS.
not the blood burning
The
at the
slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
That's what you needed, I guess. To each their own.
Yeah. You'll get what I mean.
Yeah, but it was just...
yeah.
It was like you could like just breathe without having like that expectation.
Yeah, I went to school and I remember seeing, honestly, more Latino people. Mm-hmm. Just not so heavy.
Like white influence.
Yeah, white influence. And it was like, wait, I can wear whatever I want and no one's going to tell me anything for it because there's another kid sitting across from me that might be going through the same stuff, And
that's so funny that clothes were like such a thing for you, I think, because that was ultimately like when you got into like high school and stuff like that and you joined like the fashion club, that was really how you like expressed yourself for a lot of time,
when we moved down here, that's when my mom started her business. So she was able to, she had a better income than up there. Up there, again, because it's such a touristic place, you guys, it's expensive. Rent over there for a 2-bedroom is like $3,000.
I remember when we drove through Vail, I can't remember where we were going, but we drove through Vail and just to like park, it was like $50 for parking.
Yeah.
It was like something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Like everything up there is like, what's the word? Like, not name brand.
All you see over there is pretty much Loft, Under Armour, Calvin Klein, Crocs, like all the expensive stuff, which now doesn't seem expensive. No, it is expensive.
Oh, it's expensive.
Scratch that. So it's funny that you mentioned clothes because back then we would have to drive from the mountains down to Denver to go to Ross because that's where I would buy my clothes from. My mom, like that is what we could afford. So we would go to Ross and then we would go back and I would feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because again, everyone would wear like name brand stuff up there.
And nowadays it's like Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, like that.
And I'm getting to that point because when we moved down here and I would say, let's go to TJ Maxx. Let's go to Ross. Like it was such a like exciting thing. And I was like, wait, I've been going there my whole life.
My people. You're all, yes.
Yeah. Like, fuck yeah. And it was like, again, that's what I mean by it was a breath of fresh air where it was like I didn't have to have that worry or shame on my shoulders just because I couldn't meet the expectations
you could authentically
of this
have these like common interests with other people.
Yeah, because if I brought it up to people, it was like, oh, I shouldn't. They're gonna think I'm weird or less than them.
Yeah.
So when I say, like, had I grown up here, I think I would not have carried that shame and worry around for so many years.
I think that the one thing that did have such an impact on me with staying in the same place my entire life has been just like when I was younger, how big like my family was on family, and like that you couldn't leave family because they're family, or you had to like your family members because they're family. Like the whole like almost like nobody can do any wrong because they're family type of concept. Like I feel like that's why my whole family has like always pretty much been here. We had like extended family elsewhere, but like for like the majority of my what's that called?
Primary
like, immediate
family. Yeah,
here. Everybody was here and nobody wanted to leave because everybody was here. And for me, like I touched on like the last episode, being so big on like boundaries and basically like it doesn't matter if you're family or not, like you water who waters you type of thing. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways is I don't feel tied to having to stay here. Like we're ultimately going to do whatever is best for our family. We've had talks before about moving to Texas or moving to like Iowa where my grandparents are or things like that. So I will say that I think growing up in the same place and just being in one place my entire life, that's one thing that I kind of like took from that experience was just, not wanting to feel like I'm chained to being here. Like I can move on. We spent a long time on that one, but it kind of went everywhere.
I think, hey, you guys are more than welcome to skip through and go to the next question. But I think it's also good because you never know, someone listening might need to hear what it is that we're saying.
For sure.
This one says, kids before marriage. I had a baby before marriage and all the judgment I get.
I think a lot of the time the judgment comes from people that shouldn't be judging nobody. But I don't know. I mean, I can relate. How old were you when you had Lulu?
I was 19 when I got pregnant. I had her at 20.
Spring chicken or winter beef or summer squid.
I'm no spring chicken.
I was 19 when I got pregnant. I had her at 20.
Okay, so I was 18 when I got pregnant, had AJ at 19. And then I got pregnant again at 21. But I don't know, like, I think as long as you're picking, you said this before, with, in the relation to, like, you and Alex trying to, like, actively trying to have a baby, like, 2 months into your relationship, I think it just depends on, like, knowing that you're having a baby not with a loser that's gonna, like, end up leaving you, and maybe you don't find that out until later on, but in our case, that was not the case. And, yeah, I don't know. I think I was mostly afraid of judgment. Like I said, I got pregnant at 18. I was mostly afraid of judgment because I had always set the standard for myself that I wasn't going to be like my mom. And I wasn't going to be a teen mom. And I wasn't, you know, like, I was going to have my shit together.
Yeah.
And I think because it didn't end up happening that way, I think I beat myself up more than
others.
I cared. Yeah, even that I cared, like, that other people were judging me. Because I think I told you this, but, like, when I had told my dad about it, he, like, straight up walked out.
Yeah.
And I was like, first of all, I didn't grow up with you, like, my entire freaking life. Like, you were always in and out. And you were, like, freaking 18 by the time you had, like, 3 babies. So who are you to judge, you know? So I think I was pretty, like, set in, like, clocking other people's judgment. I think I just beat myself up, like, personally, a little bit more about it, but it ended up working out, like, you know, all things that are meant to happen do, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So
in most cases, judgment comes from, like, based on religion and, like, that's marriage before kids and all this stuff, but it also has to do a lot with certain religion and certain churches. And I've always said, and I think you have said too, you have actually, where our relationship with God is our business type of thing. Because I've also heard that, children are not God's children until they're baptized, and that is not at all true. All children, the only people that have a free ticket to heaven are children, because children do not have any malicious intent in their heart. And that's one of the things, I'm sidetracking, but, like, when my daughter hits another kid, I take it with a grain of salt, because I know deep down sometimes it's just an impulse thing,
reaction,
rather than I'm gonna hit you because I don't like you. Intentful. So same thing, it's like some people are gonna tell you, oh, this is wrong because the church says it's wrong, and it's like, okay, but, like, am I a bad person? Is my partner a bad person? Do we hurt people intentionally? And it's like, no. If it's just about marriage, forget about it. Have your babies, be happy about it. Because at the end of the day, God's timing is perfect.
Right.
Alex and I, like I said, we started trying for babies 2 months into our relationship. 7 months in, we moved in together. 1 month into us having our own place and living together, we got pregnant. Again, there was not a time that we used any contraceptives. And it was like, why is it that the minute we move in together
is when it happens?
Because God's timing is always right, and it's always perfect, and nothing is going to happen your way. So if you had your babies are never a mistake, and they're always a blessing, and there is no reason why anyone who isn't the person creating this tiny human inside their belly should be telling you anything. If it's you, and as long as you're making sure that you're having a roof over their head and you're stable enough to raise them, that is all that matters. Everything else, you can ask God for forgiveness, and that is that. And whatever judgment comes your way, ignore it, take it with a grain of salt. Should you have waited? Yeah, we all should have. I should have, had my shit together, but I didn't, and that's that.
That's like how they say, like when people are like waiting for the right time to have a baby, and it's like, when is the right time? Like you're always gonna have different things that are going to come up. Oh, I want to travel more. Oh, I want to have a house first. Oh, I want to be married first.
Yeah.
But it's literally just like, no, like it's whatever is meant to be, like whatever's in the cards for you.
And just because some people choose to wait to travel the whole world and wait to their 30s doesn't mean you have to.
Doesn't mean that it's a mistake if that doesn't happen for you.
Everyone's path is different. Everyone's choices are different. And just because your choices don't reflect what other people would have done doesn't mean it's wrong.
Right.
And I do want to clarify, because I know I said like all babies are a blessing, whatever. If I'm very much pro-choice.
Yeah.
So if it is not your blessing.
I know, I was trying to figure out how we were going to add that in there.
If it's
not a blessing, you're choosing to want to.
That is fine too.
Yeah.
And no one should have a say in that either, because at the end of the day, it is you who's going to be growing that baby inside of you and raising that baby. And unless someone is paying your rent, my mom always say, si no me mantienen, no digan nada. If they're not paying your rent, they have no business telling you anything of how you live your life and how you go about it. Point blank, period. Yeah.
Not a question, but love to see you both getting along after everything. Cute.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a juicy one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you heal from cutting ties with toxic family members? It hurts so bad, but it's best for me. Where do I start?
You want to lead the way.
Let me read it again just so I can make sure that I cover all my bases. Whew, okay. I've said this with, like, not just, I guess, I was going to say, like, trauma, right? Because, like I said, I have a lot of childhood trauma. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the reason behind cutting off a lot of the family members that I have chose to separate from. And when it comes to the healing aspect of that, I've always said that healing is not at all linear. Like you're always going to have ups and downs. And when it comes to anything traumatic, so I guess like if the cutting ties is traumatic enough, which, I mean, if it's a family member, a lot of the times, like you said in your question, it hurts really bad. So I'm assuming, it's a hard decision to make. Just know that it's something that you're always gonna have to work on. It's something that you're always gonna have to be aware of and actively be, continuing to set your boundary. It does hurt. It's not easy, but you have to be selfish kind of and think like, what is this relationship? How is this relationship making me feel? If it's not making you feel good and you've voiced that and they're still continuing to treat you like shit, then there's obviously not the love and respect that should be there for someone who is, a family member to you. So yeah, start by just, speaking up and voicing that it doesn't make you feel good, or don't too. Like there's the two sides of it, because for me, I didn't have that one-on-one conversation that was like, okay, I'm not coming around anymore, or I'm choosing to like cut you off. But that was more so because of the specifics to my situation, that I just kind of decided like, no, I don't have to be putting myself through this just because you're family. So kind of like circling back to the question about, where I grew up and how that kind of shaped me, having that mentality that like, oh, I have to stay here just because they're family, or I have to be putting myself in this position just because they're family. And finally realizing I don't have to, though, if it doesn't make me feel good. Yeah. So, it really comes down to, just kind of being selfish and realizing like, this is not this isn't a relationship that I can see myself. I've poured out everything that I can into this, and I'm not getting anything in return. And if anything, what I'm getting is just continuing to not make me feel good. And so, yeah, I think a big thing for me too was my family that I had started. You know, like I had kids already by the time I had decided to cut off some of these family members. And, you know, I was nurturing my relationship with Billy and everything. And one of the biggest things for me that was like a motivator for me to finally call it quits and be done with it is that I don't want what I went through as a child to happen to them. And like, if I'm choosing to have this relationship with you and keep you in my circle, I have to think about how it's going to affect my kids, my marriage, it's not just about me anymore. Well, it's about myself, because the bigger picture.
Because if it starts affecting you, it starts affecting how you behave with your children. And your marriage, your mental health, all that. So.
So that was one thing that I had to think about too, was just like, is this something I've put up with it for so long because it was just me, but now that there's, you know, 3 other people in the mix, is that something that I feel comfortable like allowing with them? And when it came down to like thinking, I would say mostly about my kids, I was like, no, this is not, I can't do it anymore. It is sad, it does hurt, and you will never stop like mourning that relationship. I don't think, if it hurts deep enough, but just staying firm on your boundaries. And I mean, in my situation, there's been plenty of times for those people to reach out to me to try to, you know, figure something out, but also, this is one thing that I should say too. When it finally did come time for me to like cut that tie and make that decision, nobody said anything.
It's like they didn't even care.
Yeah. And I said that the last podcast about nurturing relationships, and if you're giving all you can, and excuse me, if you're giving all you can and you're not getting anything from the other person, then when it finally comes time for you to decide, okay, I'm not doing that anymore, the bond is almost naturally cut. Because if you were the only one putting in the effort in the first place and you decide to stop, then that's it. That's the end of the relationship. And I've had that happen not only with my family members, but with friendships too. Any relationship, really.
I cut off my family, and along with like aunts and uncles, I cut off all my cousins. And it sucks because I think about like all the times that like we like would hang out together and have all these big family gatherings. But kind of going off of what Desi said, like how is this relationship like beneficial to me in a way, I guess. And honestly, looking back, I really don't. You have to look at the situation and what kind of people they are, what are their morals, their values,
and because that
how does that, like, is that who you are?
Does that align with you?
Because I can tell you, most of the people that I've cut out of my life, I miss the memories and the experiences, but I don't miss the people because of certain things they've done. If you watch my TikTok on Monday, that is a very, very good example of why I cut them off and why I don't miss them. But just in general, if they're crappy people, you don't want them, and you can miss them, and you're gonna miss them most likely your whole life. It's just reminding yourself of the type of people they are.
And what you deserve.
And what you deserve, how they hurt you, and what it is that played a part in them hurting you. And if they can't take accountability for what they did and what led to you cutting ties with them, then maybe they're just not worth, being in your life. Focus on your little family. Because again, family is not just people you're related to by blood. It can be your friends. It can be your...
it's who you choose.
It's who you choose
to keep in your circle.
Yep. Girl, I'm struggling here with my sister-in-law living with us because she has a big family. I've gotten this exact same thing. Not exact, but along those lines before on my Instagram. And if you're aware with my monthly check-ins, yeah, it was one of those. And I'm going to tell you the exact same thing I told this person on my Instagram story. If you feel uncomfortable in your own home, imagine how uncomfortable they must feel that they're already in a place that is not their home and somewhere where I bet you they have very present in their mind that they are invading your space. I think the best way you can go about it is just showing grace and patience, because what would God do? You know, if they're pulling their weight, great. If not, bring that up to them. Hey, like, we're all living here together. It gets messier quicker. It's many more dishes to cook. Can you guys pitch in for groceries? Stuff like that. And it should be smooth sailing. Whereas noise and space are maybe things that are non-negotiable, because kids are going to be kids at the end of the day. And if kids fight, one thing I always tell people when our kids are fighting is they're just kids. And I'm not going to get mad at your kids or my kids, because they're just kids. And they're going to fight, and then they're going to be happy tomorrow. And there is no reason why you and I should be getting mad over, oh, well, your kid did this to my kid, right? Handle it with as much grace and patience as you can. And just pray to God for their success. Not necessarily, please get them out of my house, but God, help them get a better income, help them get better opportunities in life, help them find a home soon so they can prosper in it together as a family. So don't just pray for your benefit, but theirs as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to touch on what you said at the very beginning about making sure that they're pulling their weight in some way, because obviously, again, situational. So if it comes down to like struggling because there's so many of them and nobody is helping out in any way, shape, or form, then I think that's, your frustration is valid, but I do think that it needs to be, brought up in conversation and worked through together, rather than like just sitting there feeling like, I don't know, like, not that you have to deal with it, but
like there's no out. Like there's no fixing this, because there is. Yeah,
so I would say just if it is something that can be fixed, sitting down and talking about the problem and finding a way that works for everyone to
come to a mutual agreement. Find a
common ground.
Yep.
Yes. What is something motherhood has taught you? I think for me, the biggest thing motherhood has taught me is just recognizing generational curses and breaking those, and just giving my kids better than what I had. And that right there is just constant work. Constantly aware of it and working towards it. And I feel like that kind of covers a bunch of different areas when it comes to how we discipline and how like our patience and what else, like the way that I show up for my kids, and just it's kind of like an overlying area. It touches all these topics, you know? So I think just giving my kids a better childhood than I had, and being aware of the generational curses and breaking those, just to provide a better life for my kids.
Motherhood has taught me many, many things. But one, kind of going off of what you said, or it'll kind of be similar. One of the things that is like, important, or that I've really like taken note of is after I became a mother, I realized that as a child, there was no reason for me to go through the things that I went through. Because those are things that I would never allow my daughters to go through, and things that I will always try and protect them from. And things that, again, how you go about teaching them lessons, disciplining them, right? You don't have to discipline them by hitting them. Acknowledging their feelings,
Yeah, that's a big one.
Teaching them how to be self-aware. Telling them it's okay to cry. It's okay to express your feelings. You don't have to be quiet just because I'm yelling at you. Like, you're allowed to talk back.
I know. Don't I tell you how bad AJ is?
Yeah.
With his, but it's like in the moment I'm like, okay, buddy, but that's not the point. Like, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
But then you look at it afterwards and he'll straight up tell me, he'll be like, okay, that's the way you feel, but that's not how I feel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, point. But like,
go on.
You have a point. But in this moment, like, there's leniency in certain ways, but we do still have that distinguished, like, respect, you know, because I do think that is important. Yeah. But I think there are appropriate ways to go about it. Like, you don't need to be scared of me to feel like, for me to feel like I'm respected by you, you know? Yeah.
This is a fun one.
Okay.
Who's your dream collab? By the way, I love watching you guys. We love you and thank you so much for watching us. And it means so much to us when you tag us on your stories when you're watching the video.
Oh, is that one of the girls that tagged us?
No.
Oh,
yeah. But still, thank you for letting us know.
Shout out, and for everybody responding too.
Yeah.
Dream collab. So, are we thinking like podcast wise, business wise, or just like in general?
Let's say both podcast and business wise.
Okay. I think a fun one, going off of like what we wanted out of our, say, like our brand, right? Like our image. I think any sort of like coffee shop collab would be really fun. I think that would be really fun.
Which she's so kind. Esmeralda.
Yeah. She knows us by name now.
Esmeralda, she actually told us that we can film at Coco's.
Yeah.
If we ever wanted to.
That was so sweet.
And I was like, stop. I already love your shop so much. Don't make me show up here every single day of the week.
That'd be fun.
That'd be good. Yeah, or like a furniture brand, something like collab where we can new chairs.
Yeah.
Because in case you didn't know, we actually got this off Facebook Marketplace where Troopers,
they're lovely.
originally
from Target. They're originally from Target.
Yeah.
But podcast wise, business wise, what did we talk about?
Podcast wise, my top two would be Spill the Beast podcast and Call Her Daddy. Just because
oh my gosh. I was never really into Call Her Daddy like before the documentary came out. And then I watched the documentary and I was like, Alex Cooper, I even made a thread. I was like, Alex Cooper is such a girl boss. Yeah. Like, she motivated me even more to like get this rolling, like get Sippin' Pretty going, because I was just like, look at what it can be. Like, she is a prime example of just like lead with passion, you know, like do whatever it is that you are feeling called to do.
Yeah. And
no matter the outcome, if you are putting all your hard work into it and just being as authentic and presenting as, you know, your authentic self, then it's just going to be great, because that's just the way that it's going to happen. And Spill the Beans is just like,
they're just great people.
The ultimate comfort podcast. Like, it's so funny because their little like jingle at the beginning, the boys will hear it from like rooms away and they'll come running in. Are you watching Spill the Beans? Like, they know. And I think one of the things that makes them so appealing or like relatable to me, at least, and I think we talked about this, is that they're not like these influencers that are from LA and from you know, like Texas, these big cities in Texas or Florida or whatever. Like, they're here where we are, so it almost like brings that
it's reassuring.
It's like, okay, like
you don't have to be from a big city to make it.
Exactly.
You can be anywhere as long as you're authentic and genuine. Like, that's all you need.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Spill the Beans and Call Her Daddy for
Ms. Alex Cooper
podcast collabs.
Hey, Daddy Gang. Don't sue me. I'm just singing her jingle.
What is something people would be surprised to know about you? What is something people would be surprised to know about you, Caro?
Oof. Give me a minute to dig in my brain. Oh, I don't know, girl.
Oh gosh, what are you gonna say? Is it dark?
Yeah.
I knew where you were going with it.
So,
we like to say we have the same brain.
yeah. Yeah, literally, like, I'll give her an idea. She was like, I was thinking about that. I was gonna bring it up. Or she'll say, I'm like, dude, yes, please.
You just looked at me right now and I knew what you were gonna say. I need to stop laughing though.
So, this is like really, it's fine. Like, it's fine now. But I spent about a month and a half in psychiatric hospitals. Yeah.
Eek.
It wasn't bad, actually. Don't
go.
Don't go. But like in movies, they make them seem like so dark and like you're locked up. But dude, all we would do there is literally go to like therapy class and draw with pastels. And they had like this mini fridge with like milk and like all kinds of juices, and then another like little section with snacks. And you can't have phones, obviously. I remember I'm lactose intolerant. And
There's another fun fact.
Add it to the list of things you need to know about me. So obviously, dude, I couldn't be freaking... You're spending the day with a bunch of other people that are going through the exact same shit or similar stuff as you. And like 24/7 with these people. And I just could not go another day with walking around farting every single step that I would take, dude. And I remember telling them, hey, so like, I'm lactose intolerant. I need an alternative. Dude, they brought me soy milk and it was so good. And that started my love for soy milk.
Oh, there you go.
So I had my soy milk there. We would always do like dunk sesh where we would like put the Oreos in like milk and play cards. I mean, you become a gambler in there, dude. Like,
so it's not all scary and...
It's not like that. You get gym time. You actually don't go outside.
Oh.
They don't let you outside, but...
That's a little...
Yeah, but yeah, it's not all bad.
Yeah.
What about you, Desi?
Some things you guys would be surprised to know about me. I gotta dig deep too. I don't know.
I'll hand you the tools, the shovel.
Yeah. Let's well, I didn't graduate college, but I was in college when I got pregnant, and that's when I decided to drop out. But I was going to school for psychology because I wanted to be a child therapist. And so actually I told you when we were talking about doing the podcast that I feel like this is fulfilling that like wannabe therapist piece in me. And I think that's why like I'm so, I don't know, passionate about it, like and wanting it to thrive, is because I feel like that's fulfilling that piece
you can
of me that I didn't get to do. Yeah.
You can give your 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 5 or 10.
Or 90 minutes.
Or what was our last podcast? 95 minutes?
95 minutes, yeah. If you stay through the whole thing.
Your turn.
Breastfeeding. The guilt of stopping at 6 months and mom shaming on giving formula.
So I think this is a good one for... You're gonna get a good variety here because you breastfed both girls consistently, right? And for me, I tried with both of mine, but it just didn't work out for me. But remember, fed is best. So I'll get into that. But with my first, I just remember I was trying so hard, and I don't know if it was just like being a young mom and like just the overall stress of becoming a first-time mom. Yeah, we were young, we, moved in together and whatever, but yeah, it just wasn't working. And I can distinctly remember the first time that I was like, we need to give him formula, like this isn't working. And it was, I don't know, it felt really like the first time that we had to give him formula, it was like the middle of the night, and he would not stop crying because he was so hungry. And I remember I was crying, and I just told Billy, I was like, you just need to go get him formula, go, like he needs to eat. And it was really like, it was like, what's the word? Not diminishing, but I just felt really guilty for it, I guess. And Also, I think what kind of influenced, like, obviously I didn't care so much about the formula because I knew my baby was being fed. And like I said, fed is best. But it was also because I did not have a good experience in the hospital when it came to, like, introducing me to breastfeeding and whatnot. I remember, and this would be a good idea for an episode like birth stories and things like that. But I just remember when, after I had given birth or whatever, the lactation consultant or whatever came in and literally handed me like a packet, like a homework packet of questions and stuff that I need to watch a video and and do this. The best way I can explain it is like homework on. And that just like did not set the right tone
That's the
for
last
me.
thing you
that
wanna
was
do.
the last thing I wanted to do after I just pushed a baby on my cooter. Like,
like, I think I have enough with the whole child.
I was like, I'm done. And then also just like, I remember trying to get him to latch and all of that, whatever. And the nurses were just not very like kind about it. And so after we decided to do formula, I didn't really feel too much more guilt about it necessarily. It was just in the moment I was like, oh, I like wish I could have done this for my baby. And same thing for Kingston. Second time around, I will say that since we changed hospitals, they were amazing with like resources and things like that. So I breastfed him for, I want to say 3 months. And then my supply just stopped coming in as heavily for whatever reason. And so we ended up like supplementing and then made the full switch to formula. But I don't think I really dealt with any
guilt.
No, any judgment. Like the question said, I didn't really deal with any judgment from anybody else. I think a lot of the judgment nowadays comes from social media. And like that perception that you have to breastfeed. Because back then it wasn't as like prevalent, social media, as it is now. And not so many people would go to social media for like advice and things like that. And so I didn't have that it like stuck in my brain that I needed to breastfeed my kids. You know, it was kind of just, I did whatever I thought was best for them, and that's
what matters.
That's what matters. That's what
it's
you
what
need
matters
to do
at the end of the day. So I breastfed Lulu only until she was 7 months old, and I stopped breastfeeding June at 4 months old. With Lulu, it was easier. I think I was a lot more motivated because that's actually when I started TikTok. I started with pumping videos. And it was encouraging because people wanted to see those. Actually, that's how I went viral on TikTok. One of my videos got like 1.1 million likes, and that's what actually got me to like 70,000 followers. And I was like, yeah, you know, like it's nice, whatever. And I stopped latching her at 4 months as well. No, 5 months. And I got her all the way to 7 months with my freezer stash. And then I switched to formula. With her, I just gave her a good old formula. I don't remember which one it was, but I didn't
like
think
Infamil, like the basic one.
But I didn't think much of it, which like again, if that's what you can afford, go for it. With June, I remember I stopped because even with Lulu, I felt like my mental health was at its worst when I was breastfeeding.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, and you're barely getting any sleep, and it takes a lot of energy. So if you have to be selfish and stop, do it for you, because you cannot be a mom 100%. You can, right, while breastfeeding, but
not if it's taking that toll on you.
Because you can be a mom 100% for your baby. You're always gonna show up for your baby no matter what. But are you taking care of you? Right. Don't, because your cup is just gonna get low, emptier, and it can get to a point where you hit rock bottom, and it's gonna be really hard to get yourself out of there. And fed is best, and at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're okay, in an okay mental state to show up for your babies. I didn't feel guilt either. All you want to do is make sure that you're happy with what you are feeding them. So there's a variety of formulas. I remember with Lulu, I didn't think much of it.
I didn't either.
With June, I did a little bit more, just because I really did not want to struggle with colic or her not liking the formula. And it is expensive. Formula is like $50 a can, $39 the cheapest. And that's not nothing, girl, in this economy. So I thought, okay, I am not about to go buy a freaking can of formula only for her belly not to like it. So I opted for Candamel, which is
goat milk, right?
It's goat milk. They have organic goat milk and they also have organic cow milk. But Lulu had issues with like cow milk and stuff, so I didn't want to risk it. So I opted for goat milk, and that formula is expensive. For 2 cans, it's $100. But at least I knew that I was giving her something good, because they actually bring that formula all the way from Europe. And I was happy with it. And I actually remember I planned for it. Before I stopped breastfeeding, I started buying, because obviously in this economy, it was hard.
Right.
And we were struggling financially then. This was like a couple months ago. So if you think I'll be making bank out here, no, I'm not. I legit do social media for fun. And I remember I was like, okay, I plan on stopping breastfeeding in a month or 2. Up until then, before I stop completely, I'm going to buy 1 can of formula a week.
Start stocking up.
And I stocked up with about like 6 cans, and that got me ahead. For those weeks where we didn't have enough money, hey, I have my little stash.
Yeah.
So you can do that. If, you know, because a lot of moms opt for breastfeeding because of financial struggles.
Yeah.
And it's hard, like having to worry about, I have to breastfeed because I know I can't afford milk. And that is not something you should also feel ashamed of, because if you got pregnant and you wanted to keep it, good for you, mama, and at least you're doing what you can.
Right.
At the end of the day, I know my daughters are well taken care of, and that is what matters. If your kid is well taken care of, that is all that matters. If you're a good mom, if your kids are fed and happy and well dressed, that is what matters.
Okay, so this one says how to deal with a toxic workplace/rude coworker. Oh, this is a story time. This just like brought back memories that I forgot was there. I used to work in retail at Famous Footwear, and I probably could have sued. Maybe I still can. But I had this coworker who was a male, and he was in a position of like management. So I was an assistant manager, but he was like the store manager. And there was an incident that could have been, and I shouldn't even say could have been, was sexual harassment in the workplace. And we had cameras at Famous Footwear. And so when it initially happened, there was another coworker present. And she was actually like one of my really close like friends, coworkers. Like she was a little bit older than me. And so I used to call her like mama. Yeah, I'm not gonna say her name, but mama, you know. And like we were close like that. But she also like formed a friendship with this manager also. And so I don't know if that's why she didn't say anything in the moment, was because she wasn't like comfortable. I don't know, but whatever. And I remember like questioning myself, like, did that just happen? Like, is that appropriate? Is that not appropriate? You know, like going through all the things. And so I ended up talking to one of my other coworkers about it. And she was like, pull up the cameras. And so we pulled up the cameras. I have the recording on my phone. So like I recorded it. And she was like, yeah, no, that's definitely like sexual harassment in the workplace. Like you should report that. So I did. And I reported it to our, like, she's like the regional like manager, like up there, like HR. Corporate type. Yeah. And so I reported it to her, submitted the video and everything. And Famous Footwear is like pretty big, you know? So like they have locations everywhere. So they have locations, you know, here. The closest ones to us are like Loveland, Fort Collins, like whatever. And I remember her solution to the problem was to not schedule us to work together anymore. And I was like, okay. And so I kind of took a day to like process that. And I was like, okay, well, like, are you going to talk to him? Like whatever. And then it was like making me feel like uncomfortable and like more shameful that like maybe I was like looking too far into it, like that's not what it was, like questioning myself, you know, because then like it was just awkward, you know, you could tell that there was like an underlying issue, like there was tension. But like I didn't know if he had gotten talked to, I didn't know if he had gotten, you know, at least written up, let alone like fired, you know, like something. So then again, I talked to the coworker that had initially like pushed me to reach out to management, you know, about it, like the upper management or whatever, and report it. And she was like, no, that's not good enough. Like you need to say that something else needs done, right? So I reach out again, and her next like solution was to move me locations. Yeah, so she was like, well, we can move you to one of like the Loveland stores if this isn't like sufficient enough. No, there was no accountability. No. And I submitted the video and everything. I still have it. And I didn't leave immediately after that. I want to say he left, but I think it was on his own terms. He did not get fired for this situation, which he should have. But he left on his own terms. And then I stayed for a little while longer, but I remember like I brought it up to another one of my coworkers that I was close with. It came kind of later down the line. And she was like, dude, you definitely could have like sued. Like that is ridiculous.
How do you deal with this? You don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to. If you really want to, you have to remind yourself, girl, that you're there to make money and you're doing it for you because at the end of the day, you need that paycheck. And if you really can't,
you're working to live. You're not living to work.
Exactly. And these are people that you merely know.
Yeah.
So they're really nothing to you. You can behave cordial and, you know, just put a smile on your face and take
the necessary steps that you need to take for your situation. Like I said, I went to management about mine, and that, for one at least, seemed to help the situation a little bit, because they were able to, if the supervisors are doing their job the way they're supposed to, then they should be able to mediate that situation. If they're not, then you kind of just need to weigh out your options of whether or not it's worth the toll that it's taking on you.
Again, do what you can, and if they're not valuing you and you can't get a new job, just hang in there, girl. Remind yourself, I'm here to feed my family. Last one says, how was it adjusting to mom life? What would you recommend to new mothers?
I have to think.
I always tell, you really only have 9 months to prepare, right? If it's a shock to you. But even if you're prepared for having a baby, you really don't know what's going to happen, because every baby is unique. Every baby is different. Some babies have colic. Some babies don't. Some babies sleep through the night. Some don't. You just have to be prepared for it all. And one of the things that I always tell Alex when he tells me, babe, I can't do this, I say, dude, I got handed a baby and I was expected to know what to do right off the bat. Same thing is, you're gonna get your baby handed, is give yourself grace if this is your first baby. And I say if this is your first baby because you grow with your firstborn. You learn everything with them, and you're not going to do it perfect. So if you think that it's going to be perfect, or if you're beating yourself up because it wasn't perfect, it's okay. As long as you're doing your best and you're showing up. When you have your second baby, you're going to have even more guilt, because you're going to wish you could have given this experience to your firstborn. Where it's like, I know how to do it now. Like, I wish I could do it the right way for you too. You know? So really, you're never prepared. And a lot of things come as a shock. I didn't know babies poop black. When they're first born. And
it's sticky.
It's sticky, and it's little like, it's like, what do they call it? Like tar. That black thing they put on roads.
Literally.
Their poop, if you're breastfeeding, smells like popcorn. And
that was just for you, girl. Nobody else says that.
When I go to the movies, I always tell Alex, it smells like shit in here. I can't with popcorn. And one thing I've learned is you don't care about yourself anymore. And I say that in the sense of like, I don't give a flying F if I'm well dressed, as long as you are. If I have my last cent, it's gonna go towards feeding you. It's everything you are and everything you do is for them now. And I never understood that. Like whenever, I remember I would ask my mom, you love me that much? Like, why are you doing this for me? Mom, like that's expensive. Why are you buying it for me? And now that I have children, it's like,
understand it.
I would do anything for you. And you don't know how much you can love a person, not even with your partner, until you have children. And one thing I've always told Alex, and him too, like it's a mutual understanding of we love our daughters more than we love each other. And if we were to go through any relationship issues, we love each other, but we will always have our daughters in the back of our mind. Their best interest. And if we're not able to fix it, it's always their best interest. And if we're toxic for each other, they do not need to grow up with this type of thing. So everything you do is for them. And and I always say, Alex, if you hurt them, dude, like, I hope you know, it's me against you. And same for him, where I'm like, you can never like let me hurt them. And he's like, oh no, like anything, like I will always protect them. And vice versa.
I think the adjustment for motherhood for me was, I think I keep like repeating myself a little bit when it comes to like family and like growing up topics, I guess. But the adjustment to motherhood for me was, like you said, like it's very, you understand that like motherly instinct to a whole new level, and you just want to do anything and everything to show up and be the best version of yourself for your babies. And it wasn't, easy by any means, because we were really young parents, but Billy and I really supported each other through that. And I think that was, you learn as you go.
And it's okay for you to like still touch on the exact same things that like you have been, because it was something that like is so crucial to who you are as a person. Right. And because we've always talked about this, and we'll definitely talk about this on a different episode whenever you feel comfortable, but because you were meant to be a statistic. And the fact that you're not is even something, it's something that makes you that much more proud of who you are as a person, despite everything you went through. But because if you were to become like your mom, or if you were to be like your mom, your children now become a statistic. And you're protecting them from that. You're choosing to, I'm not letting you be what I had to be, because you did not choose to go through what you went through as a child. So it's like, I'm protecting you from that, and I'm going to give you a chance to be who you want to be.
Well, and that's what I was kind of going to say as far as like my adjustment into motherhood was basically just like kind of how I had touched on before, like giving your child everything that you never had. That's kind of what I took on that role, like being the mom now, like thinking back to my childhood and like why I didn't get a mom like that. And so I think that was like the biggest, adjustment basically, is just doing everything the opposite way that I had it. And having the supportive partner and all of the above. I think my biggest piece of advice for new moms would be to not feel like you have to, like you said, like have it perfect all the time. Just to not feel like all the pressure is on you like all the time, because as long as you're showing up as your best self, your best is going to look different every day. So as long as you're showing up as your best self for that day by day, whatever your baby, like you said, your baby's well taken care of, fed, dressed, roof over their head. I think that's the most important part. I don't really know. I'm trying to think to like what I wish I would have been told, but I think we like had talked about this before too. Like you don't have enough time to prepare, no matter how much you like plan for it or how much you think about it. Like you're you really are just like thrown into it.
Yeah.
And you have to just go with the flow.
You can prepare as much as you want, but you won't know until you have your baby. I had a crib. We co-slept.
Yeah.
The crib is in the basement, never got used. Diaper brand was something I didn't really think of until I realized, wow, I like Huggies over Pampers.
Yeah, that's something too. Yeah, I guess
you can prepare as best. And it's okay to prepare as best as you can and as much as you want, but at the end of the day, just listen to your baby. Your baby's gonna tell you, and you're gonna know. Your motherly instinct is gonna tell you, and you won't have it till you have your baby or until you're pregnant. But you'll know where your baby's hungry, overtired, when they're crying.
Like what each cry means, yeah.
Yeah, so really, unfortunately for some moms, that motherly instinct is absent.
Kick in, yeah.
But if you are blessed to have it, and trust me, that's all you need. That motherly instinct, because it's what leads the way.
Yes.
Take our advice with a grain of salt.
We are not responsible for the outcome of these situations.
We are not responsible for any decisions that are made with our advice, so please.
Use with discretion. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. That was fun. I think that it was nice to just have like our, like you said, like our conversation like planned out for us.
Yeah, I was telling that, I was like, the thing is, because we were like trying to write down our talking cards, and I was like, we don't need these.
Yeah.
I was like, because we don't have to like plan our conversation. We'll just go based off of the questions.
Yeah.
And I like these. I like doing these where you guys can ask for advice. We didn't get through all of them because then this video would be 2 hours long.
Yeah.
But
I know we're gonna spend like at least 2 minutes on each one. We had a whole ramble on every single one, but it's fine.
Yeah, but at the end
just
of the day,
overshares.
I hope you know that we go through things just as you do, and we're just girls.
Yeah.
Navigating life and trying to give you our best advice from our experiences.
Yeah. And boy, have we experienced a lot.
Have we experienced some shit.
Oh, I think that's it
for today's podcast. If you're tuning in, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new here, hello. I hope you learned something from our questions. And if you're left wondering what we've been through and what could possibly
refer back.
Yeah, go follow our Instagram account so that next time we do a Q&A, you can ask us those questions. Yay!
Okay.
Anyway,
we will catch you on the flip side.